Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting beer review and another Bavarian beer. And why I say beer is that I'm not actually sure about what beer style this particular beer should be defined as. It's from the Scherdel brewery in northern Bavaria. As you know, I love Bavaria. And this brewery has been giving a really good impression to me regarding how their beers are looking, and in terms of label, and their website is also looking nice. I'm gonna give you the link to that in the description box below, and they're having quite many different typical interesting beers, also traditional beer styles, of course. That's what I like. Scherdel Brauerei, it looks like this, nice looking logo with a coat of arms, and this particular one is their Schlappenbier, which is brewed to the event Schlappentag, which is a event happening that is in this town Hof in northern Bavaria, where this brewery is located. So that's quite interesting to try this one, and I suppose it could be defined as some kind of a fest beer. Since it's a little bit stronger in ABV comparing to normal Helles. It's 6.5, so a little bit stronger, and I hope it's a pale one. I guess it's a pale one, so probably a pale fest beer could be the best way to describe the beer style, I guess, without tasting it, but it's gonna be interesting. First, some history about the brewery. Later on I'm gonna show you, or I can show you already, the look of the label. The Scherdel Schlappenbier, and it has the nice label right here too, and the cap, which also looks real nice and typical. Here we have the back label with quite much text. I'm gonna read through that also, of course, later on. But some history about the brewery is always nice to have. The Scherdel Bier GmbH brewery is an independent subsidiary of Kulmbacher Brauerei AG. The brewery produces 100,000 hectoliters of beer per year. Georg Matthäus Scherdel came to Hof with his family from Schwarzenbach an der Saale in 1831. As a baker, he understood the handling of yeast and thus the fermentation process of the brewery. He devoted himself intensively and exclusively to brewing beer in communal brewhouses in order to be able to supply the surrounding villages. Since the communal breweries were not always available as requested, in 1862 he and his son Bernard built their own brewery, consisting of a brewhouse and a brewery at Unterkotzauer Weg 9, in the vicinity of which Scherdel had a rock cellar. Georg Matthäus Scherdel was the first Hofer brewer to transport his beers to Preußen and Saxony with horse-drawn carriages and teams of oxen. This decisively favored the development of the city of Hof into a beer city. The family business continued from generation to generation. With the introduction of the Pilsner beer Scherdel Edelhell, the brewery's upswing began in the 1930s. The good development was interrupted by the Second World War, and the sales areas in central Germany were lost. This loss was offset by a new orientation towards the south. In the course of the 1970s and 1980s, the private brewery developed into a regionally important provider in northeast Bavaria. For over 20 years, the beers of Scherdel Brewery have received awards for their quality in competitions organized by the Deutsche Landwirtschaftsgesellschaft e.V., which is DLG. DLG is the main group for beer tasting in Germany, it seems like. Previously 5 gold and 3 silver medals. In early 2003, the brewery ran into financial difficulties and had to file for bankruptcy. On October 1st, 2003, Kulmbacher Brauerei AG took over the Scherdel brewery as part of the bankruptcy proceeding. It will continue to operate as an independent brewery in Hof. I'm very glad for that. So big thanks to Kulmbacher for saving Scherdel Brauerei, so we can have Scherdel beers in the future as well. Thank you. The Scherdel Brewery celebrated its 175th anniversary in 2006. The event was taken as an occasion to equip the Scherdel beer bottles with new traditional labels. The company logo was also redesigned. Michael Krasser, former sales manager of the Kulmbacher Brewery, has been managing the Scherdel Brewery as managing director since June 2007. Scherdel has been producing the so-called Schlappenbier for the Hof Schlappentag since 2011, and that's the one I'm having here today. And about this specific beer, the Schlappenbier, it's possible to read: the traditional beer for the Hof Schlappentag. The tasty Schlappenbier is traditionally brewed only once a year, especially for the Hof Schlappentag, in strictly limited quantities, so that it always remains something special. The Schlappenbier original recipe has been passed down from master brewer to master brewer for generations and is well guarded. Our Schlappenbier is a fine, spicy, strong beer with a 6.5% ABV. With its strongly rounded taste, it becomes a real pleasure experience for beer connoisseurs and is always available in 20 bottles, 0.5 liter bottles box, or in a 30 liter keg barrel. Hof Schlappentag and its traditional beer. On January 25, 1430, the city of Hof was stormed by the Hussites without any significant resistance. As a result, the Margrave of Brandenburg asked the citizens of Hof to equip themselves with small arms in order to be better prepared for future attacks. Around 1432, a rifle guild was founded, the members of which were obliged to practice shooting to defend the city. On the last shooting day of the year, many shooters rushed to the shooting range in work clothes and slippers to do their unpopular duty, but they came mainly because they were rewarded that day with a tasty low-key beer that was only brewed for that day. Now, for almost 600 years, the Hof Schlappentag has been held to commemorate this day. Personalities from public life, the craft and the shooters celebrate together with the people from Hof and the Hofland every year on first Monday after Trinitatis. The program for the Hof Schlappentag after a musical wake-up call in the early morning of the Schlappentag, the shooters and the artisans gather around 8 a.m. in the shooting gallery to move to the town hall. At the reception there, the Schlappenkönig is proclaimed by the chief of the marksman and the mayor. Around 9:45 a.m. the representatives of the craftsmen and the shooters, as well as representatives from politics, formed to march in the pageant with several brass bands to the festival site at the shooting gallery. After the arrival of the pageant, the Schlappenbier, specially brewed for the Schlappentag, will be served. The Hof National Day goes over to its cozy part with sausages and a tasty Schlappenbier. Very interesting history in my opinion, and feels really something that I want to experience myself. But now, instead, I'm gonna experience the Schlappenbier. Looks really great to me. Traditional looking German bottle. Take one last look before I'm gonna open this one up. The Scherdel Schlappenbier. Looks really nice. Das Traditionsbier zum Hofer Schlappentag. Gebraut nach dem deutschen Reinheitsgebot. Hofer Rathaus anno 1895. In Erinnerung an Georg Matthäus Scherdel, Gründer der Scherdel Privatbrauerei von 1831 in Hof in Bayern. Biergenuss seit 1831, and you see the building right here, Hofer Rathaus, the way it looked in 1895. It is right there. Real nice looking bottle and label. Unser Schlappenbier wird nur einmal im Jahr zum Hofer-Nationalfeiertag, dem Schlappentag, eingebraut. In streng limitierter Menge und nach dem von Braumeister zu Braumeister weitergegebenen Originalrezept. Mit seinem kräftig abgerundeten Geschmack wird unser Schlappenbier für den echten Bierkenner zu einem unvergesslichen Erlebnis. Auf Ihr Wohl. Zutaten: Wasser, Gerstenmalz, Hopfen. Scherdel Bier GmbH. Unterkotzauer Weg 14, Hof. Scherdel-Bier.de is the link to the brewer's website. I'll link to it in the description box below, as always, as I mentioned before. 6.5 ABV, as I also mentioned, and I must show you the back label once again. I mean, look how nice this logo is, the coat of arms, and gives a really nice impression to me. Over to the tasting part. I'm gonna open up this Scherdel Schlappenbier. Really excited about this one. To taste what it tastes like and what kind of beer style it is even. First time I'm having a beer from Scherdel Brauerei, of course. There we have it. Very golden color, I would say. Really nice, also nice compact white head. But really golden. You see all the bubbles rising up. Looks really nice, and I thought that it could be defined as probably a fest beer, a little bit pale fest beer, but it's more of the very golden color. Not maybe as I would say amber, but dark golden, not pale yellow at all. As you can see, very golden, dark golden. So really interesting, this one, and also that it's got 6.5 ABV, which is of course quite much stronger than the normal pale lagers, Helles, and so on. You really feel the maltiness and the hops nice balance. Also feel that it's stronger than the normal Helles beer styles, or the Bavarian Helles. This is you get a little bit more character, more body, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, the maltiness is also a little bit stronger. But it's really the aromas really tasty good, and I really look forward to try this one. So let's try the Scherdel Schlappenbier with this great looking beer, both in the glass and in the bottle. Looks really great. So let's taste it before the head disappears. Always important to drink a beer while it's ahead. You have to do it all the way through. Keep ahead. It keeps the tastes of the beer the way it should be. Prost! Yeah, maltiness, nice. Feel a little bit of hops bitterness too, but it's more malty than I expected, and I really like it. It's a great one. It's one that's really easy to enjoy for me. You feel that the alcohol volume is higher than comparing to a normal Helles, of course. It's a really interesting beer style, and something that I really recommend you to try. This Scherdel Schlappenbier, and I really want to try more beers from this brewery because it gives so nice impression to me. The Scherdel from Bavaria, really nice impression in every way. This one is tasting really nice. maltiness, quite big, pale maltiness, stronger ABV as I mentioned. Real nice character and amazing quality. Feel free to check out their website also and more information about this brewery. Really interesting in my opinion. This is something that many people should be able to enjoy, this beer. Yeah, it's a really nice one in my opinion. Yeah, the aftertaste. Strong maltiness. Real pleasant, really nice beer. Really soft, easy to drink. It's an amazing made beer. I understand why people are longing for this one, since it's only brewed for the event Schlappenbier. Really nice beer. That's something I can say and I can feel. After the beers I've tasted, this one is a great craftsmanship with the brewing process. It's a really great one. That's it. As I used to say, that's the Scherdel Schlappenbier. You're not gonna get disappointed about this one. Scherdel Schlappenbier. So, big recommendation from me that you try it. It's a great one. It's simple as that. With that said, I hope you continue to follow my channel, that you consider my reviews as interesting. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe and support the channel. That is very appreciated. And I hope I see you again in the next video.